Hey, what is going on YouTube? Jay here from MJTech. Today coming with a very interesting Bold device, and if you guys are not aware, Bold is a blue company. They are designed in Miami, but yes, assembled in China, and they have done it again. This has to be one of their most attractive phones ever as of 2022. This one will have an initial price of $249, and well, after that it'll be about $350. We're talking about the Bold N2, and I did receive this early. I've been using it as my primary device for the past 7 days, and I have to say they have stepped up their game quite dramatically. So if you look here on the back side of the box, the N2 comes with a 6.6 Full HD Plus AMOLED panel. It is a curved display. It has a resolution of 2340 by 1080 with 393 ppi. It has Corning Gorilla Glass number 5. It comes with a very powerful MediaTek processor. It is the Dimensity A10, now able to give us blazing speeds of 5G. It comes with a 2.4 gigahertz processor, 64-bit. Internally, we have 8 gigabytes of RAM, 256 gigabytes of internal storage. It has advanced quad AI cameras on the back. We have a 64 megapixel sensor, which is able to record in 2K at 30 frames. We have a depth sensor, a 5 megapixel wide angle lens, and a 2 megapixel macro lens as well, with 128 megapixels of super zoom. On the front, we have a 16 megapixel shooter with a 2 megapixel depth sensor. And internally as well, we have a 4200 milliamp battery with a 30 watt charger. And it comes with an in-display fingerprint sensor, and it's powered by Android 11. With this being said, let's go ahead and wait no further to unbox this baby. And it comes in a typical box to where we have a little divider separating the phone from the accessories. This is the phone right here. We're gonna set it aside for just a second. Inside of this box, we get the typical blue accessories. In this case, it is branded as Bold, as we can see. All the details right there. So we get the earphones. Yes, we do get an adapter. The phone itself doesn't have the headphone jack, but we do get an adapter. We had the micro USB-C cable right here, very nice and shiny, just like we have seen on other blue devices. We have the adapter here for the headphone jack, as I mentioned earlier. It is right here, super short and easy. So let's set this aside. We have the paperwork with some blue stickers and basically telling us how to insert the SIM card and whatnot. And as typical as well, we get a blue case, which is great because now we don't have to worry about getting accessories for the phone. Everything is pretty much included. The only thing I didn't see here inside of the box is a screen protector. That's because it came pre-installed with the phone already. So this is the Bold N2, and immediately I can tell this is, like I said at the beginning, one of Bold's most appealing devices in terms of design. This thing is beautiful all the way around. Let's go ahead and get started here by booting up the device, and on here we can see that 6.6-inch display. We have the 2 cameras here on the upper left hand side corner, and yes, it has a very similar design to some of the Samsung devices and Huawei phones that we have seen recently. Here on the left side of the phone, we have nothing but just a super curvy display. We're going to be seeing here the curves in just a second when the phone boots up, and it just did boot up. So let's go ahead and unlock it, enter my passcode, and I just want to give you guys a glance of what the screen looks like. Check that out. The curves are so aggressive that you can see here the curves. Even if you have it completely sideways, check that out, guys. We can see the apps moving around right there. So yes, when you are holding the phone here towards the front, it looks like a full bezel-less display. On the top, you have very tiny bezels, and so we do here at the bottom. And like I said, on the left side, we have nothing. On the top, we have here a very tiny microphone. That is the secondary microphone. On the back of the phone is where we have that camera set up. The main shooter here is the 64 megapixel. We get a 5 megapixel wide angle lens, a 2 megapixel macro, and a 2 megapixel depth sensor with the LED flash right there. We had the bold N2, and the back is made of this plastic that feels like rubber as well, so it's very nice and grippy to the hand. On the right side here, we have the volume rockers up and down along with the power key, and towards the bottom here we have the SIM tray. This is a single SIM. This SIM tray actually has a little rubber piece around it, giving us the indication, I don't know if you guys can see that right there, but it's giving us the indication that this could be waterproof or water resistant. Right there you can see that little gasket, and that's great. Now they don't advertise it as having any type of waterproof, but I am assuming it does because of that little gasket right there. So here we have the on-screen fingerprint, and that's one of the things that we're going to test right now. You guys can see that that was actually quite fast, and it's actually my favorite method of unlocking it. You don't have to turn on the screen in order to unlock. You can see that once you're holding the phone and start moving it around, it actually enables, and you can see that it's quite accurate. Maybe not the fastest in the market, to be quite honest with you guys, but it does work. And even if it's not coming on by moving the phone around, you can just simply double tap on the screen and it'll be right there. So this is the OS, and what I like about it is that it's pretty clean. It doesn't come with, you know, any bloatware from blue or bold. I don't know if you guys can see that, but we are getting support here with 5G. I do have my Verizon SIM card. It is working perfect. There's no issues whatsoever. Now, something that I also like about this bold device is the fact that so far I haven't found any bugs on here. So what I mean by that is that the Wi-Fi is working great. I've had other budget phones in the past to where sometimes, you know, me just starting it up, they have already like 3 or 4 updates because their system is crashing. There's a whole bunch of issues. With this device, it came pretty much set out of the box. I haven't had any major issues. The battery does hold, I would say, more than a day. I was able to use here again with my SIM card Verizon. I do the things that I do on my iPhone. I check my emails, I do videos, I check them constantly to answer comments and whatnot. I, you know, periodically when I get a chance, I play games, I watch shows, sports, and the phone was easily able to handle the entire day. I still had about 30% for the next day. All of these social medias work great. We have here the Antutu benchmark. This is something that a lot of people out there are not using any longer, maybe because it's not available at the Play Store, but I still download it from Google. And yes, this phone got a very decent score, making it a solid mid-range device. The score is 393,193, as we can observe. And if you go here into my device, let's allow this real quick. This is the MTK 6833. Again, that's the Dimensity A10, now able to support 5G. We had the Mali G57 for the GPU, and the rest has been listed on here, guys. Again, super cool. What I like the most about this phone for sure is that display. Now, I wish that the refresh rate was at least 90 Hertz. This is still a 60 Hertz display. So it looks, I don't know, display wise, it looks similar to the Samsung Galaxy, maybe S8 that was released a couple of years ago. And I'm talking about the display, maybe not the performance, but the display looks very similar. We have very similar curves. We have a very similar resolution, very similar everything. This is still an AMOLED panel, very nice and vibrant colors. And yes, guys, I have to tell you, I don't have any complaints. Everything is working great. The phone calls were working great. There's only one small bug that I found on it, and that is that with the Pixel Buds, if I connect them on here, I can hear the music fine. I can hear everything fine with the exception of phone calls. People can hear me, but I hear them at a very low volume. So I'm not sure if that's coming from the Pixel Buds connecting to this phone, or if it's a bug in the system. Either way, that's a software issue. It can be fixed very easily. So anyways, here we have things like the brightness comes already so that you can enable right off the bat here, dark theme. We have camera. We're going to be talking about the camera here in just a second. We get hotspot, the flashlight. The flashlight is very bright, as you guys can observe right here. That's good. We have like a triple LED light on the back. So yes, it works great. Let's click on done. We have airplane mode, just the standard stuff that you will see with, you know, pretty much any phone out there. That's very cool. And once again, we can see right here that we are in fact connected to Verizon, guys. And I'm sorry if I get you bored with the display. I just can't get over the fact that we have such a beautiful display. I mean, the colors are great. Look at those curves, guys. I can see them from the side. And me grabbing the phone, I haven't had an issue to where I accidentally press something so far. I usually use it here with this case, in which talking about the case, the edges here are a little bit too sharp for my likes. I wish that maybe they could have gone with something a little smoother here on the sides, but the case does fit very nicely and it's definitely protective. I dropped this device already once with this case on and it didn't suffer any damage whatsoever, so that's very cool. And yeah, so now that we mentioned that about the case, something else that I need to mention about this particular device is that it doesn't support wireless charging. Yes, you heard that correctly. And something else that it doesn't support, let's confirm that here once again because I've been testing other devices. We have here, yep, it doesn't support NFC. So those are the two things that were a little bit of a bummer for me, not having wireless charging and NFC. You know that Android Pay is quite important. So yeah, that was a little disappointing, but hey, it is what it is. They already made the phone. We can't change the fact that it doesn't have those two features. So anyways, here we have system, and on system, here we can check things like, you know, battery percentage and how you've been using your device and whatnot. Like I said, on the battery side, it's an absolute beast. I don't have any complaints whatsoever. Then we have things like intelligent assistants. We have seen this with pretty much any Android device out there. It's nothing, you know, nothing different, nothing special is what I should call it. We have here things like the navigation bar settings where you can change the back, and here the task killer and the home key. You can change the layout. You can even change the colors as well, as you guys can observe. So we have blue, we have like a very light pink, we have like a coffee color, gray, or you can choose your own color as well. Let's just leave it in blue for now. Go here into about device. Let's go here into Android version. Let's click on it. I think I just clicked the wrong thing. And right here, we can confirm once again that this is Android 11. Gaming on this bold device, it is expected. It does work great. You can play pretty much any hardcore game that you want on it. It does get a little bit warm on the back, but if you have the case on, you won't even feel it. It's not a dangerously hot type of warm that I'm talking about. It's just like a little bit here around this area. When you're grabbing the phone, you can definitely feel it. Other than that, it stays pretty nice and cool. We even have here FM radio. And for FM radio, let's see, we can allow this. We do need the earphones in order to get it working, otherwise you won't get reception, but we do get the FM radio already included with the device. And yes, like I said, the system is super clean, super smooth, barely any lags. What you are seeing here is the choppiness on the screen because we are so used to 90 hertz and even 120 hertz that now this seems to be a little bit choppy when moving it around. And well, that I can't, like I said before, the phone is already made and we can't change that. So here from YouTube, we will test the audio coming out of this loudspeaker, in which we have at the bottom. As I said, this is not a stereo speaker, so unfortunately this is not going to give you that amazing sound that again we are used with the more high-end devices. But for a budget phone, it does sound quite great. Let me give you an example here and you guys be the judge.
Your name is Carter.
Carter.
There is device implanted in your ear. You are the only one who
So yes guys, like I said, for this price, I mean, the speakers are good. They do provide somewhat of bass feel to it when you are playing the audio, but that's about it. It doesn't give you that experience as we would get with stereo speakers, but it is more than sufficient for me. Now here we have the cameras, and for the cameras, like I said, they're not disappointing. Definitely not comparable to any flagship device out there, but yes, it does a pretty good job here with focus, the autofocus. I mean, you can't see this here through the camera, but let me show the picture here. And right there you can see how fast the focus shift from one to the other, and the colors are pretty natural. I can't say they are saturated, but what I like is that very fast focus that it provides. And if we go here into videos, the quality, the max quality that we can get to is at 2K, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video. And from here we just have the standard blue settings, nothing dramatic. It doesn't have optical image stabilization, and well, when you are taking videos, you can definitely notice, I mean, the difference between a flagship and this particular phone. Like I said, they're not comparable, but it is for sure a very competitive camera in every way. Here we have the front-facing camera, and again, very good photos. We got here portrait mode now as well, and this is all done thanks to that 2-megapixel sensor camera, in which helps a lot. We have more settings on here. We get video. This is the ultra wide video as well. So yes, when it comes to the camera, guys, like I said, it's just a standard phone, nothing like a flagship killer, but you won't be disappointed with the quality overall, especially if you play with some of the settings here. If you go here into more, we even have night mode, we have a pro mode, we have that 128 megapixel, in which it will allow you to zoom up to 4 times, as you guys can see right there. This is all digital zoom, and we can see all the details. Let's shoot a picture right here just to give you an idea. And so this is what the quality looks like. If we zoom it in, you can see all the details on there. So yes, all these things, they might seem like a gimmick to you, but they actually work. And so for that reason, I don't have much to complain about. Like I said, the camera is just average, but it does the job quite okay. So yes guys, here when it comes to my complaints, well, I already mentioned them throughout the video, but I will just recap it here once more. First of all, the screen protector didn't serve me well, so I had to remove it. Second, we don't have wireless charging, and third, we don't have NFC. Other than that, this phone is almost perfect. I love the design. I like that curved display. I love the colors that it does provide, and overall it's definitely a usable phone. Keep in mind that this will have a price of $249 for only a short time, so make sure that you guys do your orders as soon as possible, so that way you don't miss out on this amazing price. And then after that, it'll go to about $349. Keep in mind that now we get 5G support, a stable OS, very nice and solid device with metallic frames all the way around it. And yes, it feels like a Samsung or a Huawei phone, but at a much less price. With this being said, thank you so much for watching. Subscribe for more, click on the bell icon so you won't miss future videos like this, and I'll see you on my next one.